Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Saturday morning, so you know it's time for another live edition of The Extra Point. As you can see, we have the Bonnie and Clyde edition today. Got T Sizzle decked out in her what is that, faithful red? What do you call that? What do you call that right there? That you're pointing
Like
out a
you
red.
said, the faithful red is cardinal.
Okay, in the Cardinal red. What's up, Denise, Ola crew? Um, T Sizzle, we have a lot of topics to discuss this morning. You are going to be in the hot seat. You're carrying the show like Steph carried the Golden State Warriors. And make sure, ladies and gentlemen, you stick around for a special edition of T Sizzle's Top 5, because she's going to break down the top 5 comedians of all time. And something tells me that she's not going to like my list. So, without further ado, let's get started. But we never get started without a word from our sponsor.
We are sponsored by May Jane's Coffee. That's MAEJANES coffee.com. You can get your Colombian and your new whiskey blend coffee freshly ground by my lovely daughter, Sasha Denise. Again, if you're not a coffee drinker, buy it for someone who you think would enjoy coffee. She also has t-shirts. You can support her that way. And she also has these syrups that you can put in your coffee. But if you're getting the one with the yak in it, I think you need to try it, by itself to see if you need to add some more yak to it or not. That's always an option. But again, it's May Jane's Coffee, MAEJANES coffee.com.
No, wait a minute. Did you say that you can actually sip on some syrup with May Jane's coffee?
Sip it on some sister.
Hey.
Sip it on some sip.
Hey.
Sip it on some sister.
Hey. Okay, all right, we're off and running.
I got iodine poison.
Oh, look, of course y'all know that UGK is her number one group of all time. We're going to keep this thing rolling. And we're also brought to you by, I know you don't see him in the shop today, Mr. Michigan Mike's Wolverine Comics. Make sure you check out Wolverine Comics on Instagram and follow Michigan Mike on all of the social media platforms so that you can get your comic book on as well. Now, T Sizzle, last night we had another NBA Finals game. It was game 4. The Boston Celtics blew a 6-point halftime lead. Golden State pulled away for a 10-point lead, powered by Steph Curry's 43 points and 10 rebounds. Getting down for theirs. Now, Tasha, there's some stats that jump out at me that I want to get your opinion on as we go into this best of 3 series for the NBA crown. Now, neither team has lost back-to-back games this entire playoff series, which is pretty remarkable when you think that we've been playing for almost 6 weeks now. So if this holds true, then this says Boston in 7. That means Boston will win in 7. Do you think that Golden State has what it takes to break that streak and put back-to-back wins together to capture their 4th title in the Steph Curry era?
I think they do have what it takes. And as I say every week, it's something about being a champion or past champion that wills you to places that you didn't think that you can go. Because right. Boston is, of course, the bigger team, the more physical team.
Definitely.
But Golden State is the more experienced team. And I think in certain situations, that experience is going to outweigh a lot of that talent. Now, I did pick Golden State in 6, but I'm not opposed to Boston winning. I would be happy if Boston won because I don't want any reason for Ndoku to get fired because they say, they didn't win the championship. Because remember, They fired Dwayne Casey's ass the same day he won the Coach of the Year.
Great point. Okay, so last week I gave Steph Curry the business. I was not really sold on him being a top 10 player. We went through that whole discussion. If Golden State wins the title, he's unquestionably the MVP. He's been phenomenal. 43 and 10 last night, averaging over 30 points a game. I think he's had 5 threes in every game in these NBA finals. But so here's my quandary, T Sizzle, and I need you to help me with this. So if Golden State wins, we know that Steph Curry is going to be the MVP. But if Boston wins, I make a concession to vote for Draymond Green as their MVP. T Sizzle, let me throw some stats to you. Draymond Green in 4 games. Don't start. Don't just start. Draymond Green in 4 games, future Hall of Fame Draymond Green, always running his mouth, Draymond Green. I want the smoke. Draymond Green has more fouls than points through 4 games. He has 17 points and 18 fouls. His plus minus throughout the playoffs right now through 4 games is a minus 21. Some can literally argue that the Golden State Warriors are winning in spite of Draymond Green instead of because of Draymond Green. Now, we all know in 2016, Draymond he had to bear the cross for getting ejected in Game 5 and allowing LeBron James and Kyrie Irving to come back and run them down from 3-1. Is he going to blow this again for the Golden State Warriors?
Well, let me point something out when you said something about Steph being the MVP. You know, up until last night, he had only scored, I think, 6 points in the fourth quarter.
Not good enough.
6 points. And, I mean, you know how I am when I feel like people are campaigning, even though he's not doing it. People are campaigning for somebody to be an MVP. Like, it doesn't matter who else stepped up. Y'all was going to make Steph Curry the MVP. Now, I think he did have, 14 to 15 last night because I didn't really see
some huge shots.
Box score of his fourth quarter points. But I just want to throw that out there. Draymond Green, I don't think that he's a big of a distraction as we see because
I'll explain. Because I think he's a huge distraction.
You think he is?
I do.
I mean, I just think because they're accustomed to his antics. They know what he's doing.
They being Golden State.
Yes.
Okay.
They're accustomed to him. And if Draymond plays a big part in them winning. But if Draymond wasn't on that floor, he's easily replaceable.
He is. And there were some key stretches during that fourth quarter comeback by Golden State last night where Draymond was not on the floor. Like the Facebook user says, he's done more podcasts than points. And that's what I want to go to because Isaiah Thomas put him on the grill and really just roasted him after Game 3, saying that he's not focused. He's not championship focused. Now, this is coming from somebody who played and there was no social media. There were no podcasts. So is that a fair criticism? Do you think he's not focused enough on the game? Or like you said, you think that this is much ado about nothing?
I mean, was it Patrick Beverly even said it? He said he's always done that podcast. It's never been a distraction then, so why would it be a distraction now?
Now, wait a minute. My counterpoint to that is, now he did start the podcast like last November, but remember, Golden State bounced them out. I mean, the Memphis Grizzlies bounced them out of the play-in tournament last year. So there was no NBA Finals. There were no high-pressure games while he's been doing the playoffs. Like in the NBA Finals, especially with the way that you're playing, because right now, he's the guy that's hanging in his best friend's ride in the passenger side, trying to holler at you.
But this is one thing, and I do not like Draymond Green at all. And then I really don't like him after his mama out here bumping her gums, and she need to be quiet too. But we not going to go.
Now, those are some strong gums. Now, wait a minute. Now, the green gums, there's power in the gums. What did Mama Green say?
I mean, she was going in on Charles Barkley, talking about, he doesn't have the right to do certain things or say certain things because he doesn't have a ring. If your son was on any other team, he wouldn't have a ring. And Charles Barkley is by far a way better than a player than your son has ever been or could ever hope to be. Because you think about it, in that era, in that Jordan era when Barkley was playing, you have an argument that Barkley, it was 1 and 2 with him and Jordan.
Barkley won MVP during Jordan's height of his career, during his prime. You can make that argument. But one thing I do like about Draymond knows where his bread is buttered. It always happens. You can have a group. Somebody always wants to go solo. Because Draymond knows if he goes anywhere else, he's not going to be as successful. He's going to sit in the back, collect his rings, and get his money. You ain't never heard him say nothing about no contract disputes and pay me my money and this, that, and the other thing. You don't hear that from him. Wait a minute, Tasha. Are you calling Draymond Green Ronnie from New Edition?
First of all, Ronnie was my favorite, so you're not going to call
him. Yes. He couldn't sing or dance.
He was so cool with it, though. He was tall, he stood in the back, and he bopped like this.
But
Really not.
He was Draymond. Just get the rebounds and block out and play defense.
But to be honest, none of them boys in New Edition should have been singing. But Johnny, if you just really want to get down to who can blow.
Wait a minute, you didn't like Sensitivity? You didn't like.
Need a man with sensitivity. But you done heard them brothers sing live. Come on now. But I digress.
Okay, so the Goon Squad is checking in. Shouts out to the Goon Squad. Draymond is extremely overrated. He's not great at anything on the court. Do you agree?
Yes, and Bomani Jones said this.
I love Bomani Jones.
Bomani Jones said that Draymond, in his opinion, is really not a Hall of Famer.
Whoa.
No. His point was given the fact that he basically is a coattail rider. Again, had he been on any other team, no one would be looking at Draymond because he wouldn't have the success. Draymond would be a Hall of Famer simply because he's won championships, not because he's just out here dominating, because he's not. He also said he's a retire your jersey in the rafter type player. And that's pretty much how I see Draymond, because I don't see Draymond making a difference game in and game out like a Steph, even a hobbled up Clay. Clay is not at his best.
He's not.
I think Clay is kind of cooked. He's come back from 2 back-to-back injuries.
Right.
Clay is still more significant than Draymond.
Very much so. And last night especially, because he made some huge threes as well in the second half in their comeback.
Right. And again, I'm not banging on Draymond because I just really don't care for him.
He's a Michigan State Sparty. Bang away.
I mean, just all day long. This is my foot up a dog's ass.
Foot up a Spartan's ass all day long.
But I mean, Draymond, he does possess a certain skill set that obviously is.
What is it? What skill set? Running his mouth, fouling.
I mean, I know what's his average? 9 points for his career? Yeah, I take Big Shot Rob too.
No, I hate Big Shot Rob. I hate his guts, and I pee on his MVP trophies. I pee on his whole career because in 2001, the Sacramento Kings and Chris Webber were about to finish them. We were about to go on 3-1, and he hit that shot from the top of the key, and the rest was history. A dynasty is born.
But you also know there was shaky referee calls during that series as well.
Roddy did not touch Shaq.
Right.
Oh, why did you bring up okay, I digress. Let's go back to the finals and where it stands from a historical standpoint. If for some reason Golden State, who now has home court advantage back, I think it's 23 or 24 straight series that they won a game on the road. Did Boston blow this last night? Did they choke away the finals? Because now you got to go to San Francisco and win 2 out of the next 3.
I don't think they really choked it away because remember, all their victories basically came on the road.
They get down on the road, yeah.
So that kind of bodes well for them.
Yeah, they're better on the road than at home. I wonder why that is.
I don't know. And then this is, and I hate to say this, but every third quarter of this series, you know what I've done? Other things. Because Golden State is a third quarter team, and people were like, "What are they doing? What is Boston doing in the locker room during halftime? Watching cartoons?" Like, because every third quarter, Golden State comes out and just games on them.
To your point, Boston pretty much had the control of the game the entire first half. They're up 6. I go to take the trash out at halftime. When I come back 1 minute into the second half, they hit 2 threes. The Splash Brothers split a couple of threes. The game is tied, and now Golden State is off and running.
I mean, yeah, so I said, well, let me get up and do something. I said, it's third quarter. I know what's going to happen. And then, like, I come back, and it's the same thing. Golden State just has these phenomenal runs in the third quarter, but that was true throughout the entire season. That's just something that they do.
I'm so sick of Golden State. Oh, God. Please, Boston.
Kerr is obviously coaching them, and they're making the proper adjustments for them to come out like that in the third quarter.
Right. He said they were watching the Looney Tunes. Oh, shouts out to Kenny Man.
That's all, folks.
And that was all, folks, for Boston. And I'm seriously concerned about Boston now because this is a disturbing trend. When they had Miami on the ropes to take care of them in 6, they just laid an egg. They had Milwaukee on the ropes laid an egg and let those two go to 7 games. You're not beating Golden State in the game 7. You're not LeBron James and Kyrie Irving, who both had 40. You don't. I mean, Tatum and Brown are good, but they're not those two guys. I'm just saying.
No. Oh no. No, I'm agreeing with you. They're not LeBron and Kyrie. No.
Now, okay, so Facebook user says Tatum didn't get enough touches in the fourth quarter. I need Tatum to step up because you're looking light skinned right now. You're acting very yellow right now.
Good night.
You're being very light skinned. You're being I'll be sure right now with the acid stonewash matching jeans and jacket. I'm gonna need you to I need you to find your inner thug because he says that he didn't get enough touches, but I think you have to be aggressive in the fourth quarter.
He has to. Tatum being the player that he is, he has to command that ball, and get those touches on his own. Isn't he supposed to be the quote unquote leader of that team?
Right. Well, when you got a Duke texturizer, I'm just not sure of how strong and your mental capacity is. I'm just saying. Now,
his juices and berries. I looked at it.
Juices and berries. Look, when you look at the Steph Currys, when you look at the LeBrons, when you look at the Giannis's, you don't have to worry about their touches. They bringing the damn ball up.
Right.
When it gets crunch time. And
when they throw that ball in, it's going right to them.
Right. John Morant. I mean, those guys are going to say, hey, I don't care about no offensive set. Give me the ball, get out the way, and I'm going to make something happen. So we'll see. He looks very light-skinned, very Drake-ish, very, very love songish, very R&B-ish. I'm going to need you to embrace your inner Draymond because Draymond will thug it up. I will give Draymond that. He's skating without a stick right now. He's not producing anything.
He's skating without a stick his whole career.
He's the white dress shoe, black dress sock dude. Y'all know them dudes at the church. They'll cut you, and they sleeping with the cafeteria mama, with the church lady that fried the chicken. Y'all know that's that dude. As we continue now, there was an interesting back and forth between two legendary NBA players that I want to kind of expand on and get your thoughts on, T. Sizzle. Shaq earlier this week had made a comment that him and Kobe, may he rest in peace, Black Mamba, would have put the work in on KD's Golden State Warriors and MJ's Bulls. And you know, rabbit ears KD, there will be no slander left unchecked. He responded to Shaq and said, we're going to put you in that high pick and roll, Shaq, and we're going to test them hips. See how you move out there at the top of the key. To which Shaq responded, hey, it doesn't matter because you know what's going to happen when you miss. It's not about me stopping you. It's about you stopping me, and nobody can do that. So with that being said, Tasha, let's put this to the test. Who are you taking in a game of this or that? I'm going to give you some championship matchups from different eras, and you tell me who you going to take, A or B. Let's start with Shaq's claim. Are you taking the 0-1 Lakers, the ones that went 16-1? On their way to a championship? Their only loss was the step over by AI over your boy Sweet Lou in game 1 of the NBA Finals. They went on to win that 4-1. Are you taking that Lakers team or the Steph, Clay, KD 2017 Golden State Warriors?
I'm going to take the Warriors. The only reason why I say that
over Shaq and Kobe. Where is Michigan right today?
But it has nothing to do with Shaq. Of course, we know Shaq really Shaq literally was unstoppable. But I would give that more to Kobe as to why they would win over Shaq because you can only
that
shut
was
so many.
Kobe too. That was Afro Kobe.
Right. When he needed a kit, you know? Because you have 3 people that you would have to defend. You think about it. You're going to have to defend KD, who at that time was basically unstoppable.
He was better than LeBron at that time. I will admit
you're gonna have to guard Steph, who out on that baseline, on that 3-point line.
Uncle Langston in the house. He says that has affected your brain.
No,
stand on your.
That's the thing. See, that's why I love our folks in these comments, but they only go with their insight. They go with what they're feeling their favorite team. They don't know how to be judgmental.
And we sure do. We do a lot of that on the extra point. Keep going.
Because like I said, when my favorites are playing like crap, I'm gonna say they playing like crap. It's no way in hell the Lakers, who was on that team? You had Shaq, you had Kobe, you had Derek Fisher.
Right.
Who else was on that
Big
team?
Shot Bob.
Big Shot, but okay. Who was going to stop KD, Steph, and Clay? And then you got Dray.
They went 7-1 against LeBron in 2 straight finals.
Then you got Draymond out there who would be the one that would say, "Hey, I'm gonna buck up to Shaq. Hey, we need to foul him. We need to get him
might get
up
Shaq ejected. They might throw hands.
Right. We need to get him to this free throw line because we know that's his Achilles heel."
Excellent point. The hacker Shaq. Yes, excellent point. And Golden State, their whole team was 90% from the line.
Right. And then you would have Kobe out there who was going to be pissed off. Kobe going, whap, try to take over.
Kobe's game was so pure. His game was so pure. I love this game. But you're going with Golden State.
I'm going with Golden State.
Hey, we're just getting started on this Sizzle. This hot seat is about to heat up. Okay, well then let's go with the 0-1 Lakers versus the 96-72 win Bulls with Scottie, Mike, and Rodman.
Ain't nobody stopping Jordan.
Nobody.
So next, I'm not.
Next, okay. Okay, so then let's break the tie. So you had the Golden State beating the Lakers. You had Chicago beating the Lakers. Who wins between Golden State and Chicago?
What did I just say? Ain't nobody beating Jordan.
Nobody. Now Langston says, did she hate on Mamba? I'm out of here. No, stick around. Stick around, Langston. We love your commentary.
Langston, are you even listening? When I said, and by the time you get that ball to Kobe, he going whap. That's a compliment, Langston.
Now, baby Denise, she says Bulls. Now, Juan Tom says there's no answer for Shaq.
And it's not. There is not an answer for Shaq whatsoever, other than hacking him.
Right. You have to bring in all the big boys off the bench to get their turns at the hacker Shaq. Now, Kenny Man says he's got Jordan. Man, that would have been a hell of a series. But Tasha, let's head a little closer to home. Since you say you don't get your feelings involved in these discussions, let's test that theory, shall we? Let's go with the 89 Bad Boy Pistons versus the 04 Bad Boys 2 Pistons. Who you taking, this or that?
Man, you know I'm going with them rumble tumble 89 before Mason was on the mic Pistons.
No, coaching should have. Now let's backtrack real quick. Phil, is that a factor? Phil was coaching both teams. He'd have to switch sides at halftime, right?
But the thing is, with the Bulls, he didn't have to do. I mean, we saw on the Lakers bench, he just sat back like this with his arm on the.
Right, he had a black and mild in his mouth in the finals during that three-peat.
He really didn't have to do as much coaching with either team because you had your own core coaches. You had Kobe that could tell you, how to run and do what you needed to do. You had Mike who was running everything.
That was Mike's show. That was Mike's show.
Right. Because, Mike was originally opposed to that triangle. He didn't like it. But, once he bought into it and he saw, hey, we winning with this thing, we're going to run it.
We're going to run it. And that allowed Scottie Pippen to become one of the greatest players of all time. And right. Kenny said, hey, that's an interesting take. All right, so you're getting people to critically think about this, so let's keep going. You got on your 49er faithful hat there. Let's go with the 89 San Francisco 49ers and that high-powered offense
49ers.
Versus the 95 49ers with the defensive player of the year, Deion Sanders.
49ers.
89. We need a year, damn it. We need
89.
So 89 would beat the Merton Hanks, Bryant Young, Steve Young, and Deion was defensive player of the year.
Because Joe Montana was a better quarterback than Steve Young.
Fair enough. Okay, fair enough there. How about the 92 Dream Team with your favorite rappers on, or the 2012 Redeem Team with Kobe, KD, LeBron, CP3, Melo, all in their prime? Who you taking? The Dream Team or the Redeem Team?
Ooh, wait a minute now, because you got to go with style of play.
The Redeem Team had some killers.
I know. Oh, Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go with the Redeem Team simply because the
What?
Dream
You
Team.
going against MJ?
Simply because the Dream Team had Christian Laettner on it. Now, don't get
Fair
me
enough.
wrong. Don't get me wrong. At that time, you got to give Christian Laettner his due. Christian
He
Laettner
was the
was a
best player
bad
in college
boy.
basketball. He was the best
He
player in
was
college
a bad boy, but I just think he wasn't a fit for that team because he barely got in.
Right. Now, speaking of college basketball, wait a minute. Langston is chiming in with one. I love my Goon Squad. The 92 Cowboys or the 89 49ers? Can we make that happen? Oh, hell no. Look, let me just say this about the 92 Cowboys. They had Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, the best offensive line in football, and Troy Aikman, but their defense was number one in the league that year. I'm taking the 92 Cowboys over 93 because 92, they beat Buffalo by 50.
You're gonna have to go up against John Taylor, Tom Rathman, Roger Craig, Brent Jones, Guy McIntyre,
Ronnie Lott.
I ain't even got to Jerry Rice and Joe Montana yet. That's just
you didn't even say Ronnie Lott.
Exactly. I ain't even got to the defensive side yet.
Hey, Langston, that is a great one. The 92 Cowboys versus the 89 49ers. They kind of missed each other because the Cowboys were coming out of the doldrums, getting their picks and getting their free agents together. You got Langston spitting out his oatmeal this morning. Cowboys stand up. No, wait a minute. Now, somebody says 92 Cowboys couldn't beat my 91 Redskins team. Your thought, T. Sizzle. Now, that was the fun bunch with everybody in the end zone.
Commandos. Hail to the commando.
Now, Langston says they struggled against Kenny Anderson and the Bungles. Oh, that was one of my. Now, Cincinnati did give them work in 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah, because that one was a little bit closer than I wanted it to be.
92 Cowboys were unstoppable. You saw what they did to the 49ers.
Icky didn't really get to do his shuffle too much, but hey, I'm not gonna ever bet against. Now, I mean, I know I say I'm biased. I'm not biased.
Very biased. This is a very biased take.
But I'm never gonna bet against Jerry Rice.
This is a very biased take because the 92 Cowboys. Y'all need to go back and watch the footage of the 92 Cowboys. They were indestructible. They had zero weaknesses. Zero.
Unless it's Jerry Rice in Seattle with them braids that started right here.
Oh, when his hang time only went to halftime.
That's the only time I'm gonna go against Jerry.
Now let's check. Now I'm really about to test your gut on this one because these are 2 teams that you were fond of because I knew you during this day. We have the 93 Fab Five versus the 1990 UNLV team with Larry Johnson, Stacey Augmon, Anderson Hunt, and Greg Anthony.
George Ackles and Greg Anderson.
Now think about this. Let me set the stage. You got College Weber versus College LJ. You got College Howard versus College Augmon. You got College Jalen Rose versus College Greg Anthony. Who are you going with? Now, Carlos Coronado, West Side till he dies. He's going UNLV.
The only thing would be that Howard matchup
against Augmon. You taking Augmon over Howard?
No, wait a minute. That's the deciding factor to me because Stacey Augmon.
Now Carlos Coronado says Larry Johnson Debo's everyone. Shouts out to LJ.
But the thing is, Stacey Augmon was actually a better college player than Juwan Howard.
No, Michigan Mike. I'm so glad Mike getting on the show because he'd come through the screen and choke you right now. Are you crazy? And Langston is right. 2 of the best college teams of all time.
They were.
Yes.
I remember me and my friend from church. We could not wait to
the one that ratted you out about the NWA tape?
No. This is a girl.
Oh, okay.
But she did tell her mom one time how we left church and walked to the store because she had torn her stockings. And
Lord, we digress. We digress. Who you
and
going with?
And told her mom that we left church during the store. But went to the store during church. But anyway,
you're going against the Fab Five. Say it with the chest of y'all.
Oh,
I can zap you out of the show.
But you remember, and then like, oh my God, that Arkansas team with Todd Day and Lee
Yeah, with
Mayberry.
Mayday. With Mayday. Yeah, and what UNLV did to all of those teams. Now, Duke beat both, so we can't use Duke as a tiebreaker. Duke beat both teams. Although
Ain't
UNLV
nobody
did
talking about no Duke.
No, but I'm saying, UNLV did beat Duke in 1989, didn't beat him in 90. Duke beat Michigan in the national title game. Now,
See,
hold on, wait a
you
minute.
know what?
Billie Jean King versus Serena Williams. You're not getting out of this Michigan one, but we want to sit that there.
Because I'm still sitting up here thinking, who was really going to stop Larry Johnson? Even
Who's
though
going to stop Chris Webber?
Wait a minute. Even though Webber was the most dominating college player of that at that time during that year, he was a wannabe gangster, wannabe thug. Remember?
Okay, ain't nothing wrong with
Larry Johnson Grandmama was about that life.
So you giving the edge because the brother had a gold tooth. Is that what you're saying?
And they parred down the middle.
Well, Chris Webber had the ball head. And he had the power, the defense, the agility, the handle.
Man, I never even thought about
at the top of the key.
I mean, the thing is, Michigan, the Fab Five was like UNLV 2.0.
They were. Think about it.
They literally came in right after UNLV.
It's almost like some of these great debates that we're having between these all-time teams, they just barely miss playing each other. But I'm going with the University of Michigan all day long. The
yes.
Fab Five, damn it.
I mean, I'm going with Michigan because overall they had more talent.
Okay, UNLV. So all right, so Mike is back cool with both of us. Billie Jean King or Serena Williams?
Oh, Serena.
I'm going with Serena because of her booty. What about Five Slammer Jamma? Oh, do you think the Five Slammer Jamma could have gave the Fab Five some work?
No, because at that time, neither Hakeem nor he was Hakeem then. Hakeem and Clyde wasn't. They
lost to North Carolina State that wasn't ranked. So we're gonna dispel them for that. Now the thing is we could really stay in this one all day. Good job by you, Bob, battling me and the goons all at once. Like Tasha, she's with us today. All right, now let's transition to the NFL for a second, shall we? Last week, literally as we closed the show, literally as we got off the air, the New York Times dropped another bombshell article regarding one Deshaun Randy Watson, number 24. Now we had 24 allegations now, and in that article, they said that over the course of 17 months, the Houston Texans helped facilitate him with hotel rooms and things of that nature and NDAs for 66 women in 17 months. He's on some Wilt Chamberlain type numbers. 66 women in 17 months. Now, last week I asked how many games would Deshaun Watson miss, and you said his career. Now, I thought that was hyperbole, so I was like, okay, so that was just hyperbole. She didn't really mean his career. But now we have number 24. Now we got some other stuff going on. Tasha, how does Cleveland get out from under this? Do they try to figure out a way to avoid his contract, or do they just call this year a wash and look at the long-term investment of a Deshaun Watson?
Okay. Now, this is what I had to, because when you sent that, I said, wait a minute, let me start reading. So I had to go into depth. The way the NFL contracts are set up, if you get suspended, they can take away your guaranteed money is voided. Okay?
Which means his entire contract then, right?
Right. But what old nasty man did was when he went to
nasty man, alleged.
What nasty man tonight living in the fantasy, my own little nasty world. Tonight, don't you want to come with me? Do you think I'm a nasty man?
Boom, boom, cat.
I do think you're a nasty man.
Boom Boom Cat made that song. Sorry.
Please, come on, Vanity. Hey, please.
Okay, Purple Rain. All right.
But what he had in his contract to keep from getting his money voided, because he knew that this is my thinking. He knew he did something wrong, or he knew he did something that could possibly get him in trouble. So what he did, he went and told them, per my contract, I'm going to tell you everything that I might get suspended for. So therefore, you cannot take away my guaranteed money.
Carlos said Beverly Hills Cop.
That's my favorite movie, part 2.
Now, let's start at the bare bones minimum of this. Okay. Langston says the young man may have a serious problem. Do you agree?
I'm getting to that, Langston. I'm getting to that. So, what can possibly save Cleveland is the 23rd and the 24th, really the 24th allegation. When you sent that to us, literally as soon as we got off the show, that is what
talking about errors missing each other. Man, if that would have hit about 15 minutes earlier.
Right. That could actually void his contract because he only told them about 22. He didn't tell them about 24. Okay. So if they really wanted to get rid of him or not pay him that money, that's what they could use. Because, hey, you told us you was being nasty with 22 women, but where does 24th girl come from?
But then what? If you're Cleveland, then what? You've given up all of these picks. It may void the contract, but it doesn't void the trade.
And I'm getting to that too. I think, and remember, I wrote you, I said, I still think that they would pay him. I don't think that much, but they're still going to pay him because
some type of arbitration settlement is what you're saying.
Yes. Who else you gonna get? Who? Now, Deshaun, his body of work, I would put him in the top 10 of current quarterbacks. So who else are you going to get?
His body of work sounds like Mr. Marcus. Did he leave his hat on like Mr. Marcus? No, you come back here right now. Now, Goon Squad's checking in. He might not play again ever, which is going back to what you said last week. Do you really think that could be on the table? Now, we joked around on Twitter about the death penalty, but do you think it might not be the Texans or the Browns? It might be Watson getting the proverbial death penalty from the NFL.
It just depends because those courts in Texas didn't find him culpable or guilty of anything. But again, I tell you, remember when it first came out, I was like, no, it didn't happen. Remember, I told you that. But then as the numbers kept growing and growing, I was like, no, wait a minute. 1 or 2, okay, I give you 5. Okay, 5 and greater, something happened. And whether you said it was consensual or not, those women said that it was not consensual.
And his lawyers doing him no favors going on the radio earlier this week saying that happy endings aren't illegal. Now, Langston says he just needs to go to Vegas and get a membership at the Bunny Ranch in his contract. Get you a little purse, lady.
Just come down here. This is an adult playground. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing. And these girls down here don't
know. Be a madam?
These girls.
Hey, shout out to Queen Roscoe checking in.
You know what?
In the house.
Queen crazy.
Sandy Booty. You know what? I remember that.
That's Minister Roscoe to everyone. Minister Roscoe.
That's right. Congratulations to you, Miss Quinn.
But the thing is, these women down here don't follow NFL. They don't know who he is. You come to this North Coast, you can get on for 2,000 to 5,000 pesos. That's those 15,000 pesos down here, and that's less than $100.
But now, but no, his face is he's one of the most infamous faces in America now. So maybe he won't. Plus, how many of the women gonna smell their fingers after going bowling in the bowling ball?
I take my fingers and I smell.
You know what? No. We digress. Now let's get back to football.
Back to Langston's point, I do think that he has a problem.
Carlos, have you been on your May J's coffee this morning? We want to bring it back to English. All right. So he has a problem, and the Cleveland has a problem.
He obviously has a problem. He could be a sexual deviant. Remember, I told you he's a sexual IMA. And for you all who don't know what a sexual IMA is, I'm going to say it in a clean term so Paul will not get mad at me.
Right.
It's
a morning show.
A sexual IMA is I'ma see it, I'ma gonna get with it.
I'm gonna hit it till I can't quit it. Okay, we get it. But
And I think that's what he is. I really think at this point he has a problem. And again, it's not about looks. People always want to say, oh, well, look at his girlfriend. Yes, his girlfriend is gorgeous. His girlfriend is beautiful. But when you have something wrong up here, all of that doesn't matter. You look at how many people have been accused of sexual abuse or sexual assault. They have anything at their fingertips that they can get to. It's about the control. And I think with him, he felt like he could get these girls, control them, and tell them what he wanted them to do without any pushback. Some of the girls was with it. They was okay with the happy endings. But for those women who said, no, this ain't what I wanted, you cannot discount them. You can't discredit their stories.
True, but here's the thing. The 2 Texas grand juries did not indict him. So there were no criminal charges. So, like, what can the NFL do? Now, we've seen them suspend players without a formal, like, charge of going to jail and things of that nature. But like Langston said, on his introduction, he was in full denial. He did say that.
It's because he has a problem. Again, the NFL can suspend him, but it would be up to Cleveland if they want to go down that rabbit hole and say, let's go through this contract with a fine-tooth comb. You told us about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Stop it right now. Don't you drag the Bible into this.
But you didn't tell us about Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. So that could be their out. There you go, Langston. Technicalities don't mean innocent.
Right. And there's a difference between not guilty and innocent. There's a huge difference between not guilty and innocent.
Because as I said last week, I do believe some of those girls were with it. But the ones who...
Wait a minute, Tasha. Carlos is coming in super hot. Not guilty. These rats got paid. To that you say what?
Yes.
I was ready to say, I knew you was going to love that because that's right in your wheelhouse. Carlos is the one who was bold enough to say it.
Because like I said, Carlos, some of these girls was with it. Because you had, 15 or so girls to come to his defense.
Right.
Some of them girls was with it.
Right. And that's not hard to believe that an starting NFL quarterback is able to have women cater to him. That's not a hard thing
to believe is the fact that he's going on Instagram. Hey, Marcus, he's going on Instagram to get these girls. I know somebody put on Twitter, why couldn't he just go through Backpage?
Right. I mean, or what? Like, why 66? Why not just have you a couple on standby that you deal with? Why does it have to be so many? That's why I agree with Langston.
Because it's a problem, like Langston said. It's
right. I'm getting the Cosby vibes, like the hard, the whole.
I mean, minus the thigh gappers, because he wasn't drugging any of these women, to my knowledge. I mean, I think the majority of these women came on the pretense of them giving massages. Even the ones before, but wait a minute, let me stop myself. If you're not a licensed massage therapist and you go to a dude and give him a massage, you know what you was going for.
No, that's not a massage. That's foreplay.
I don't think those are the girls that's suing. But the girls who
hold on. Langston says he goes through Meet Me. And you know what I thought about on Meet Me? On Martin. Meet Me. I digress. Shouts out to my sister Stephanie Coulter checking in. This has been a fascinating conversation. So let's see if we can push this thing forward. What happens with Deshaun Watson? I don't think he plays this year, but do you think he's worth keeping around for the long term of his contract?
But it's almost like he's not being held accountable for the things that he did because
he's not.
Because nobody sees what he did was wrong. And I told you again, and you know I'm not a feminist. Does
misogyny play a role in this?
To a certain extent, because you know I'm not a feminist. I'm probably a misogynist my damn self. I mean, and that's
that's fair. That's fair.
That's just true.
That's fair.
But they vilified the shit out of Colin Kaepernick. My man ain't played. My man ain't got no job. They talk so bad about that man. For what? Taking a knee because black folks was getting killed. You got a man out here allegedly sexually assaulting women and ain't nobody saying a damn thing.
Well, the thing is, people are saying a damn thing, but he
ain't
is
nothing
far
being
more
done.
talented than Kaepernick. He's like, if I had a chance to look away from off-field antics, I would say that I would take more of a risk on Deshaun Watson, maybe, and bringing him in because of the talent. I could win a Super Bowl with Deshaun Watson. I don't think I can win a Super Bowl with Kaepernick.
No, at that time when Cap was doing that, you can get to a Super Bowl with Cap. Now he did get.
He was
stopped.
all right. He sort of kind of fell off his precipice by then. He was about to be big.
But the thing is, because I thought about that. I said when he started that decline.
Oh, Carlos! Oh my gosh!
That is true.
Carlos, wow, he's like.
Carlos,
I think you found your spirit animal.
Speak, brother. Speak. Because see, Paul won't let me say stuff.
I won't.
But he ain't gonna speak to you, Carlos. Thank you for speaking through me.
That's my man, though. He like, and the thing is, this is not a shtick. If you ever met him in real life, this is how he gets down in real life.
Through me. Thank you for speaking through me.
The old sports rule: talent gives rooms for bigger tolerance.
They kind of brush you under the rug if they feel like you have talent. But again, I don't think in the grand scheme and grand scope of things. Thank you, Marcus. I need a Bucky's blouse. Thank you.
Shouts out to H-Town checking in. We got H-Town in the building. Shouts out.
But I don't think they really think what he did is all that bad. That is why no one is making a big brouhaha about it. That's why the league is like, okay, we don't want to piss the women off any further than they're already pissed off. So how can we settle this amicably that will still give the Haslams what they want, give the women what they want?
Because they want him on the field. The NFL wants Deshaun Watson on the field. They
want Deshaun Watson on the field because he is a talented player. Like I said, right now, he's top 10. He's top 10.
Even with a year off, he's top 10. Look, I know Titans fans may cancel me for this. I'll take him in Tennessee.
Yes.
Drew Merriman, you stop it right now. That's my boy. We got College Station checking in. Give them what they want, baby. Hey, he ain't want to be trifling with either.
Drew, wear my Bucky shirt, Drew. You live in Texas. Drew, I need a Bucky shirt.
Hey, look. He's not being hyperbolic either. The man got down for his. Oh, the Goat Squad is in rare form today. The Goat Squad. Hey, y'all got me cracking up today. Oh my God, he said he got you. Make sure you bring it up to Dallas and send it from there so we can go to the casino. As I digress. Now, the thing is, there's more collateral damage with this Deshaun Watson case than originally meets the eye. Hold on. He can't come to Tennessee. They closed down. You know what? Langston, like between Langston, Carlos, and Drew, we're going to turn this into After Dark. Mike picked a great week to have daddy duties, Tasha. But let's move this forward to another team that's directly affected by this Deshaun Watson drama. That's going to turn into a drama of their own if things don't get settled quickly, and that's their division rival, the Baltimore Ravens. Now, for the first time in his 5-year career, quarterback Lamar Jackson decided to forego. They paid this now. Don't gas her up, y'all. I'm trying to stay focused here. So Lamar Jackson skipped voluntary OTAs for the first time in his 5-year career. He's in the 5th year of his 5th-year option. That's going to pay him $23 million to play this season. Now, Steve Picotti, the owner of the Ravens, has been trying to extend Jackson for over a year now, and Jackson will not come to the table. You all know that him and his mom represent him. He doesn't have an agent. At first, Jackson said he was just concentrating on football. He was trying to win a championship. And then in the offseason, here comes some manna from heaven if you're Deshaun Watson, a $230 million contract to a guy who has no MVP, to a guy that has few playoff wins, if any, and a guy who has a ton of baggage. So if you're Lamar Jackson, why in the hell would you sign a deal that's less than $230 million? The Baltimore Ravens are in the world of trouble when it comes to paying this man. If you're Deshaun Watson, Tasha, how much will it take for you to come to the bargaining table in light of the Deshaun Watson contract.
Can I show the people? You want me?
Go ahead. Come on, Lamar.
See, I'm down here looking like Lamar. I went running this morning, guys. That's why I'm looking like Lamar Jackson or Sealy.
No, we're gonna go Lamar Jackson. Don't say Sealy because the Goon Squad is already on fire this morning. They all have some
new era AB walking around, but see, he can walk around with his hair like this, and the girls say, "Oh, who is you, Daddy?"
Because he can throw a football 50 yards from his knee, on bended knee. Now, Langston says Lamar has to hold out. Jackson knows his shelf life. That is a huge proponent in all of this. The way he runs the ball. Last year he was injured, missed like the last 3 or 4 games of the season. Baltimore missed the playoffs. If you're Jackson, what's it going to take? 250, 231, all guaranteed? What do you think?
But this is my thing with that.
See, here we go. Why did you take that damn hat off? Oh, Tay.
The thing about that is everything you said. Deshaun Watson. Wait a minute. What popped up?
Wookin' Punub in all the wrong
places. Wookin' Punub.
Okay.
Did that? Betty that.
Back to the Ravens.
Baby eyes.
Marcus, will you quit gassing her up? Tasha, if you're Lamar Jackson, dreads and all, how much is it taking for you to come to the bargaining table, considering the fact that you are a more high-risk quarterback because of your running style, your playing style?
But all that goes out of the window because Deshaun Watson's more high risk because he's a sexual deviant.
Ooh. Now that comes into play, but let's look at the Ravens side. Facebook user says Ravens aren't going to pay him that. They're cheap.
They're
not. You're going to lose your franchise quarterback?
They will. They like I said, when I went to that table.
I'm not opposed to that as a Tennessee fan because we're going to need a quarterback in a couple of years.
When I went to that table, I'm going to write a number and I'm going to slide it to their
Oh, slide it across that table, right?
And on that, it's going to say 2, 3, 1.
At least.
If that ain't the number that's on that, if they don't say okay, it's no deal. Because why should he go out there and risk himself?
So do you not play? So do you hold out in your last year of your rookie deal?
I would, because then again, that would make him he's a way better quarterback than Deshaun Watson. He held out for a whole year, sat down for a year, and
the man run like Derrick Henry numbers. He put up the 1,200 yards rushing and then still throw for 30 touchdowns.
And got 230. So if you sit down for that year and they're going to say, oh, he got a whole year off. He got to rest his body. When he was injured at the end of last season, he's rested now. We're going to give him this money. I'm not taking anything less than an accused sexual assaulter or however you call it.
There's no way that you can sit across me at a negotiating table and tell me I'm not worth more than Deshaun Watson, considering what he brings to the table and what he brings off the table.
Take the off the field. I'm joking. Take the off the field issues out of the scenario simply because Lamar ain't got no off the field issues.
Right.
So let's just take that out.
And hadn't throughout his college career or professional career.
Never. Just go, if you go pull the tape, play for play, game for game, season for season. Deshaun Watson does not deserve more money than Lamar Jackson. Ain't no way.
No way. He's had them as a number 1 seed. He's won playoff games. He's been the MVP. He's been the face of that franchise. He's represented them well. Again, like Langston said, they are a run-first team. They built their entire offense around his skill set. So you have to literally blow up your entire offensive coordinator, and bring in fresh talent to fit a new system. Now he said go to the Rams. They pay everybody. The Rams must be using counterfeit money. What kind of salary cap do they have? Everybody gets paid out there in La La.
Maybe. Who knew? Being a defensive tackle could garner so much green?
Right. Okay, you know what? Let me do one more. You taking the last year's Super Bowl champion Rams in that defense over the 99 Rams in that offense?
Defense, man. I'm going defense all the way.
The Titans beat them, actually, by the way. The Titans beat them. R.I.P. Steve McNair. And shouts out to Eddie George for 2 touchdowns in that game.
Came
I
up
digress.
short.
Look, if he didn't have alligator arms, we'd be champions. Oh, Lace is going 99. He's doing that to troll the Titans. That's all that is.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Langston. They better pay LA taxes. Oh, that's a good point too. Now this is coming from a business mogul, so of course he's factored in the taxes and all. So, wow, that's good stuff. Now, for all of us nostalgic people that came through the ranks in me and Tasha's era, we received some wonderful news on Thursday. The Martin Lawrence himself said that after 30 years, there is finally a Martin reunion that's going down on June the 16th on BET. That's next Thursday on BET. You got Cole back. You got Pam back, Gina back. The whole cast of characters is coming back. One of our favorite shows of all time growing up. At least it was my favorite sitcom of all time. Tasha, who was your favorite character on Martin?
Martin. Man.
Who's your favorite character on Martin?
Oh my God. Martin has so many characters. Mama Payne was a fool.
That's my favorite.
Shanae, of course. Even Roscoe with the snotty nose.
Oh, Otis. Oh. You about to be mad as hell, boy. Look like you can't afford to put cheese on the wall.
From bright red to blind as a bat red.
Oh yeah, hold up. One of the best episodes ever. That ain't no damn. Hey, Carlos says his brother man. Hold on, how you do?
Brother. Fifth floor.
From the 5th floor. He's like, hey man, I'm just trying to get me some sandwiches. I'm just
Speaking of brother man, you remember when he came in and took Martin Walkman and he had everybody like in New Jack City and he had that stuff Rottweiler, he was throwing it up.
Right, another classic, My Mama Bird. That's what she said.
Gina, you give him.
She said, I think you need to have a seat, Mama Payne. She said, oh no, Gina, Mama feet stay planted in case I gotta take 2 to the body and bring it to the head. Not my Mama Bird.
And you know our favorite saying of all time. Damn it, Evelyn, if it smell like J.O. cabbage every time you go somewhere, maybe it's you. Maybe you just stink.
Like, you're going to make me go and watch it on Netflix. Oh, my God. So many memorable moments, so many memorable episodes. And, like, they're taking me down memory lane because some of these I forgot about. But that ain't no Puppy Gina. The bruh man, when they were selling them Whitney Hutton shirts, he spelled Whitney Houston. When he had no job. My Mama's Bird was one of the best ones because Mama Payne went off.
When him and Cole drove to Detroit, because
he said, "Gas up the pacer."
We going to Detroit.
Oh, you can't forget Hustle Man, but nobody has said my favorite, Jerome.
Party.
Jerome. Oh, Roman.
Wait a minute, girl, Missy Pooh.
He told at the players' ball, he told Pam, "Not you, junk. I'm talking about Sheba, baby."
And he told her, "Wait a minute, you ain't got to giggle."
Right. He said, whenever you're ready to get that giggle out of you.
What you know, no good, Rashid.
Remember the meatloaf and waffles, the rhythm spoons.
Calling them damn rhythm spoons.
Marty Marks, meatloaf and waffles. What the hell? I'm glad that y'all enjoyed that show as much as us.
Remember when Jonas and them was on the show and he kept coming out talking about, ooh, yeah.
They was on the Vario Hill show. Oh, my God. Okay, so with that being the case, y'all are cracking me up today. I needed this show today. All right, so with that being the case, we're going into T Sizzle's top 5 comedians of all time. Does Martin make your list?
These are my comedians. Again, y'all say whatever the hell y'all want to say.
Marty Marks, meatloaf and waffles.
In no particular order.
Oh, I got mine in order, so let's go.
I got Bernie Mac.
Oh,
the
what a
Mac
good
Man.
one.
Eddie Murphy, the delirious raw. Eddie Murphy, I don't care. Eddie Murphy. I got Chappelle.
Okay.
I got Cat.
Oh,
And
really?
and
That ain't funny.
man, this way it's finna get controversial. Let me tell you something. If I'm gonna watch Netflix comedy, I'm gonna watch some Cat Williams.
Deion Cole is funnier than Cat Williams.
Here we go. Remember, I always tell you it's always that fifth spot. I got
Mine
Deion
was called
Cole.
for the fourth and fifth too.
I got Deion Cole in that fifth spot. I got Mike Epps in that fifth spot. Baby!
Hello, Langston. His material never progressed.
But it's funny. And then when you sit and listen to that brother talk now, he's spitting truth, but the shit be funny. Oops, I'm sorry.
He's like a little miniature version of D.L. Hughley. He tried to be political, but then sometimes, hey, just wait on my list. Wait on my list, Carlos. I got you, player. I got you, player.
And then I got Martin in that fifth. I did not put Pryor on the list because of a generational thing, even though we know Pryor's jokes, because I sit back and listen to some of the old Pryor stuff, but Pryor is above and beyond.
Now, look, let's just get right to it. And I got mine in hors d'oeuvre. These are the top 5 comedians, PL style, of all time. Number 1 is Eddie Murphy. When you talk about stand-up, movies, all of that, and then I even throw the PJs in there as well. Number 2, Martin Lawrence. Martin Lawrence is number 2, and he really is my number 1, but Eddie has more material. Number 3, Richard Pryor, because I grew up in the house where they played those records. Shouts out to my mom and my dad. The records where we wasn't supposed to listen to, that set the tempo and the tone for the gangster rap era, because I was already used to hearing cussing and D and P and all of that other stuff. I was already desensitized, so I was ready for the NWA era. Number 4 is Chris Rock. One of my favorite sitcoms ever is Everybody Hates Chris. I loved his bigger, Deafer and Blacker. I loved all of his material. And it's not a sympathy vote because Will Smith smacked the hell out of him. I just really think he's really talented.
He is.
And number 5 is Chris Tucker, because of his Def Comedy Jam tour when he was on Def Comedy Jam, and Friday and Rush Hour were 2 of my favorite movies of all time.
See,
so we got.
Yeah, Langston, thank you, because I did forget about Chris Rock. See, that's why I said my.
Don't worry, Langston, I got you on that. But no. Your mom said Bernie. She put Bernie in there.
Bernie's on my list. But see, Sasha and I know, because the first thing Sasha and I watch is Mike Epps. Baby, we like.
Mike Epps is a good one. I saw him
out of the blue. Sometimes she would text me and say, "Tony got me 2 sweaters," and like we just bust out laughing.
Because the thing with Mike Epps with me was he was always talking like the remote was on slow mo. Like it was a little something slow, like he was in that Miss Williams class. You know what I mean? Now somebody says don't cancel me, but George Carlin was funny as hell too. He was. He's a legend.
I mean,
he's a legend.
I don't really. A lot of the white comedians and Hispanic comedians are funny. I like their kind of jokes, but they don't hit home so much with me. Like I like Gary Owen, even though
Carlos, didn't nobody ask you. Look, people always hate my 5th one. They hated Kid and Play. Now they hate Chris Tucker. Go back and watch Friday again.
Chris Tucker is movie funny.
His stand-ups were good too when he used to do on Def Comedy Jam. Like when he used to wear the back before he got found.
But again, that's not something that's gonna make me grab my stomach and roll over and quote what he said. I quote his Friday stuff over his jokes he told at Def Comedy Jam.
Well, Friday, what's better than that? Okay,
but you said stand up.
This is my list. Look, y'all only tune in to bash my list every week. I don't like y'all. But Langston makes a great point. He says he'll take the jokers on the second floor wall of Pearl. If you went to Pearl Cone on the first day of school, you would get your classes for the semester, and you would try to figure out how to avoid that second floor locker, that wall.
When you come up those steps, who was that used to draw the photos of people and on the wall? Who was that? I know Samson used to do it.
No, Big Jody and Langston and all of them would tear
Jody.
your ass up. They would tear your ass up. So yeah, there were some great comedians at Pearl. When you graduated Pearl, either you were going to have real thick skin or you was going to get committed into a mental institution because you was going to get roasted. Langston said that was him. He did it first. He's Ray J.
Ray J. Is that you?
He's Ray J. Now, our sponsor, Miss May Jane Coffee, she says she's got Bernie, Eddie, Epps, Cole, and Martin.
That's my list. That's my kid.
Look, wait a minute now. Is this some mama love she's showing? Is this really her list? We're gonna find.
No, because I told you when we get on Netflix, we watch Mike Epps. We watch I watch that Deion Cole at least twice a week.
Deion Cole is phenomenal, and people didn't know that he wrote for a lot of successful shows that you see.
Yes, on TV Deion Cole is not broke. He ain't no broke.
Bro, he's been having like long paper.
He just when he got on Blackish,
she just loves comedy. Yeah.
All right. When he got on Blackish, that's just really put him out for the people who did not know about his comedy.
If you don't know about Deion Cole, please run to Netflix this weekend and check out his special. It is hilarious. His facial expressions, his timing, his delivery. He's
and
one
when
of
he tell a joke and say,
right, he was like, "Oh, they like that one. They like that one." No, I love it. I love it. He's fantastic. So we got our list out the way. Yeah, he did. He wrote for a lot of people. So I'm glad to see him finally getting his just doing his shine. T Sizzle, your shout out. You got anybody you shouting out this week as we close the show?
Yes, I do want to shout out. This is another clanger Hell State.
Clanger
that went to college with my daughter. He sells candles. And the candles are yummy. Like when I burned this candle.
25 candles on my dresser. Yes, sir. I'm trying to.
I sit alone in my four-corner wall staring at candles.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Keep
yes. So shouts out to this candle company. Ooh, I burned it in my mouth water. Mississippi-made product.
Okay.
So yeah, shouts out.
Hold it up again, she says.
To Mr. Harges. For his lovely, a young brother, entrepreneur out here trying to do his thing. And to all my Greeks in Greek land, he is a member of Omega Sci-Fi.
Can't do that because I get beat down at Walmart. Can't do that. I'm going to give two shout outs today. The first shout out I want to give to is the Goon Squad today. Y'all have brought the pain. Tasha, you've been Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee. You fought them all off today. Wah! Yeah, this has been an epic battle between the Goon Squad and the show today. So shouts out to y'all. Y'all had me cracking up today. Good job by y'all. I want to give another shout out to one Tiger Woods, Tiger Woods, y'all. He now joins LeBron as the third billionaire behind with Mike and LeBron. And he did it with giving wifey away on $300 million. So you can recover from a fall.
Or a golf club, a 9-iron to your dome.
Or Deshaun Watson, are you watching this? Now he had some Waffle House women in his day, and he recovered and responded and won a Masters and became a billionaire. So it ain't too late for you, Deshaun. That was the whole purpose of
it. But old Eldridge was not getting accused of sexual assault, though.
You won because of the plaques. You won because of the plaques.
Like Medusa.
Hold on. You won because of the plats. You know what? He's from Nashville because he said plats. He's good in country. Ooh, Tiger Billy Woods. So yeah, shouts out to Tiger Woods. And ladies and gentlemen, we will.
He stay on that milk yacht, don't he, Facebook user?
Why you look? I had to let the Goon Squad get the last word in. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we will see y'all in 6 days and about 23 hours. Until then, peace.